Oh man, the anticipation of that countdown is serious.
I know, right? I was clapping along, waiting for it to drop.
I know, right? All right, so we have a treat for you today. My name is Travis Patterson, and I am an interview coach, resume writer, author, and speaker. And today we have Shannon Monrose, and she is a sales development rep in the UK for a very large company. And did I say your last name right? I should have asked you that before we started recording.
Yeah, no, that was perfectly Monrose. It's
Monrose.
very often the S gets missed and they call me Monroe, but yours worked.
I can see how that can be. So because I have an introduction, for myself, I went on and created one for you too. You want to see it?
Please do.
Okay, here we go. It's light.
It wasn't quite the razzle and dazzle you had, but I'll take it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I didn't want to have the intro steal from the content, because I have a feeling that you're really going to let us know something that's going to change how people consider what an SDR is and what the go-to market feels like today. And I have a feeling that you're going to also introduce a whole new level of intellect, for us today. So I would like for you to introduce yourself and let people know who you are and what you do.
Sure. So, as Travis mentioned, my name is Shannon Monrose, and I'm currently a sales development representative. I work for a SaaS company called Ebster, and I actually got into sales quite young, Travis. I started as, I think in America you call it internship. We call it an apprenticeship over here in London.
Okay.
But yeah, I started in sales when I was 16, and I have just worked my way through different parts of the business, like account management and client success. And I found myself in sales development, which I love.
Wow.
Yes.
16? So was that like your first job?
It was indeed my first job, but they kept me on, and I stayed in my first company for about 6 years.
That is, in America, that is unheard of. First of all, to get into a sales role at that magnitude. My first job was at McDonald's. I was on the cashier. I was taking out trash. I was doing that kind of thing, and just customer service.
I think I applied there too, and I didn't get the job, but I made it into the internship all right.
You know what, and good for you, right? I mean, you started on your path. You're in SaaS now. It's for some people it's difficult to get in SaaS. A lot of people want to get in SaaS, and I think because you have that background in sales, that probably laid out the path for you. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely, exactly that. It gave me all of the insight and the understanding of the business model, and then that allowed me to progress into SaaS.
So for those that have not had a chance to check out Shannon's page on LinkedIn, definitely go check it out. She is something serious. So she has a comedic side to her, but she's very engaging when it comes to teaching and helping other SDRs. It is not, I don't see this too often where you have kind of both in the same way. So again, just in case you haven't, this is her LinkedIn. I'm going to make sure that her link is also in the details below and wherever you're watching this or streaming this. So how did you get into that? I mean, you are an SDR, you are a sales development rep, but you also are teaching other sales development reps. How did you get into that?
So I think that's more of being inspired. When I joined LinkedIn, not so much a couple of years ago, there wasn't a lot of content out there for SDRs or day in the lives or even just what your day-to-day looked like. So being inspired by a couple of like the known people on LinkedIn, and it was at a very large scale, and it wasn't very particular or specified to being an SDR or starting as an SDR. It was quite more when you're established, and quite technical terms that maybe people are yet to learn. So I started basic, what taught me and what I was interested in when I first began SDRing. So that gave me the inspiration to do kind of a few videos and releasing content to my network. Just the basics originally, how I started and what would have helped me if I was in your position. That's what led me to that.
I love that you have that thinking, because like when I first got started as a resume writer and an interview coach, I always thought, how would I want somebody to help me?
Yeah.
And I was my first client. And like when it came to getting salary negotiating and promotions and interviewing, I was like, okay, how would I actually want someone to support me? So I started with that as my why too. So I can definitely relate to that. What does a day in the life look like for an SDR? And I do want to go ahead and say, like, maybe if you know, like, what does the day in the life look like, but also what does the day in the life look like in the UK as an SDR, if there's any differences at all?
Yeah, so I don't have a huge insight in terms of the differences between UK and US, but I'll get into kind of the feedback I've got from US SDRs. But my day-to-day is very structured. It's so important to literally structure your day. You want to structure your week ahead and allocate time. So in the mornings on a Monday, I'll receive my leads, those prospects who I will be putting into a cadence, and that's usually 5 weeks. We will get a meeting somehow, somewhere. So my day-to-day, I will do my research in the morning, personalize those emails, get those sent out, and then you plan your week. You're going to be doing videos, you will be cold calling. It's no longer the only way to get hold of someone. It's no longer just the phone.
Right.
You utilize LinkedIn, social selling. Like I mentioned, videos. I did a post this morning about just sending videos and getting those to be opened. You want to try all different platforms and different ways of reaching your prospect, and your day-to-day will be filled with doing different types of outreach. So
I was sold probably 3 times this year because somebody sent me a video.
Yeah.
They was holding up some whiteboard or some sign, and it had my name up there saying, hey Travis, I saw your website, quick question. Or hey Travis, are you hiring? Or either way, it was personal. Mm-hmm. And then it went into, and some of the videos went into what the presentation would be like if it was a first time call, and calling you for the first time to actually set the appointment in sales. So I was like, okay, I'm curious now, because for someone to make that much effort to reach out to me and to let me know that they have something for me that they know I can, that's not going to be a waste of my time, essentially.
Yeah, they did their research.
Yeah, they did the research. It has to be a high conversion. Mm-hmm. So how many no's do you get a day? How many yeses do you get a day?
So you get responses. You get responses saying not interested, but I appreciate the outreach or the creativity. So maybe 2-3 times a day. So I don't do large volume. I like quality over quantity. I don't want to throw things at the wall and see what sticks. I don't know if I could swear just then. But I prefer prospecting people who I know there's a need, and then we'll do kind of personalized, low volume but good conversion. So per day, I probably get 2 or 3 acknowledgements of great email. You cut through the noise, not my remit, not interested, wrong timing, or just it's a no from me. Yeah. But every 3-4 no's, I get a yes. Whether that's on the phone, email, LinkedIn, it does work eventually.
I've noticed the more channels that you have going to get more people to agree to meet with you, the more likely it is for you to close business, but also for you to get appointments. When I first got into SaaS sales originally, I remember one of my targets was 3, 2, 1. If you get 3 appointments set per day, and you meet with at least 2 people per day, you should also be closing at least 1 deal per day. And of course, when you first getting started with that, that's not going to be your immediate treasure hunt. It's going to be, you have to build up your pipeline of those meetings. So you did this for a week, you did this for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I mean, 3 weeks from now, you'll have 5, 6, 7 meetings set, and more than likely, depending on the sales cycle of the product that you're selling or service that you're selling, then you should be able to come up with a close at some point.
Exactly.
One thing that you mentioned as far as doing the videos and creating videos, earlier, right before we was letting everyone else in to watch this video, we were talking about creating content and how content provides visibility and proof. So, and you were saying that people are more likely to answer your call or to actually want to speak with you if they see that you are in other places. How does that work for you?
So what I think prospects want to see is they need a familiar name.
Yeah.
They've seen your name, interact with their content. Like when I connect with someone on LinkedIn, I won't straight pitch slap them and say, "Hey, you want to buy us?" I'll ease into it. I'll keep them on LinkedIn a week, even 2 weeks, interacting with what they're posting, and then eventually it's reciprocated, or they'll comment on something I've written, and then that will, based on their comment, I'll use that as a, "Hey, I saw you liked my content. Just hoping, do you have 10 minutes for a chat? No commitments here." They're so much more likely to, based off of your content and your credibility, they'll take that meeting with you. They don't even know what you're selling, what you want to solve for them. It's your name and your presence and your credibility that you're posting online. They appreciate that, and I think it's a big help. Social selling is definitely the future right now.
How would you define social selling?
It's quite broad. LinkedIn is the start, I would say. You want content out there. You want yourself being yourself with a value prop of your company, but also, I think in sales, you don't need to be prim and proper anymore. There's different ways of putting your value prop across without, "Hey, we do this. Are you interested?" There's different ways around it. So social selling for me is posting videos, credible posts, just even if that's a paragraph, and then acting on that and using that as a conversation starter.
There was a guy one time, I could not draw the line between him selling me and him wanting to be my friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had to ask. I hate to be forward, but are we friends? Because I feel like the next question you're going to ask me is, can you name it after me or something like that? Because I'm like, okay, we seem really close. But, I feel like there's going to be a deal to come, here shortly. So, but I think on the low, I appreciate those moments where they at least take the time to get to know you, not just for today's sale, but for the relationship long term.
Exactly. That is the way to go.
Sales development reps and business development reps, oftentimes in different companies, they can be interchangeable, but there is one slight difference. With sales development reps, they're more so focused on creating new relationships and bringing in new leads, where business development reps, they are receiving those leads and warming those up, which I would have to say is probably really important to the go-to market strategy. How would you define the importance of an SDR in a SaaS business for go-to market?
So I personally, I see you as you're on the front line, that you are the face of the business. Yep. You are delivering the solution of what you achieve, what you are doing for your customers. So the importance of even the role is there. It's super, super important. A business cannot go to market without an SDR function. Well, maybe not necessarily, but without that team generating interest and leads for your company to pursue, there is nothing to pursue. There's, you are the first point of the sales cycle, essentially. So without an SDR, the leads would only be inbound. You have nothing prospecting. You'd be getting by. You're not exceeding your targets.
I tell you, I've been an SDR, I've been a BDR, I've been an account executive, I've been an enterprise account executive. I'm a business owner, and the different skills that I learned working with these different SaaS companies, and I'm still in the market. I'm still selling, but I also have a surprise coming on here later on this year where I have created. I guess it is not a surprise what I'm saying. I've created a technology company, and it's going to be really magnificent. I'm not going to reveal the name of it just yet, but it is going to be the type of company where I will need to hire SDRs and BDRs and account executives to help go to the market, because I have to get it out. When I was an SDR, I remember feeling like a hunger. It couldn't be quenched. I always wanted to connect, and I was always filling up my pipeline to a point where I was just like, okay, I know it's someone else's responsibility to close business. So my whole point is to get meetings, create relationships. My LinkedIn account was blowing up. I was getting new, I think I went to 1,000. I went from 200 to 1,000 followers on LinkedIn in the course of maybe 2 to 3 months, just by building those new relationships. And I want to speak to something you said earlier. I will say that the more videos I started putting out on different platforms, talking, like being the subject authority, being the go-to person, speaking about human resources, speaking about technology in different ways, it helped create trust. And I will say that I was able to book more appointments, and people would eventually, when we got on the phone or meeting on Zoom or Teams, Microsoft Teams, they would say, "Hey, I saw your video on YouTube about such and such and such. That was really good. What do you think of XYZ?" I'm like, yeah. And just completely surprised that they even saw it.
Yeah, no, you would be. It's definitely an icebreaker. Like, I think just being a recognizable face and name it's a big help. So when I've cold called before, and they're like, "Oh, I saw your email and you photoshopped me onto a chess guy or a skier or a basketball player because I like basketball," and I'm like, "That was me." Guilty. Now, do you have a moment? And they're so much more open to having a moment for you.
I love that. I love that so much. If I saw that, I would definitely say, "Shannon, hey, you put forth some effort. You must really want to talk to me."
Exactly.
What are your favorite tools right now when it comes to, or favorite strategies when it comes to reaching out? I know you mentioned video is one of your favorite.
Yes. So at the moment, I'm having the most success with, Vidyard is a type of video tool, and GIFs. I don't know if they're called GIFs or GIF, but like moving animated, just things put in email. I've been sending those. They're getting good responses. And something new I've tried, voice notes on iMessage.
On iMessage?
Texting them, texting them a voice note on the number you would have called, or if you didn't get a chance to call them, send in voice notes and they send them back. And it's weird. It took me by surprise.
And I guess that's assuming that they have an iPhone.
Yeah, sorry. I downloaded a new voice note for emailing for those who don't have iPhones. As I think WhatsApp might be too personal. So I do it on the iMessage text or emailing a voice note. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I like it a lot. And here recently, I started using that on LinkedIn, but also on Instagram, where because I feel like when you have a large following, or if the person you're contacting is oftentimes reached because they are the person you're going to contact,
Yeah.
they probably get a lot of requests. So oftentimes I will leave a clip because they're going to hear my voice. I'm not a robot. I'm not just some automated person. And oftentimes I will get a response. Just, hey, Travis, thank you for, reaching out. No, I may not be the person for this, but I do know the person. Let me get you their number.
Yeah, referrals, always good. Even I multi-thread, so I might contact a few people because we have quite a few ICPs, like ideal customer profiles. So I tend to offer it different personalized just in case they ever speak. So they'll be like, oh, mine was way different. So it doesn't look too generic.
Yeah.
But I get passed to the correct person all the time, just based on the creativity they see. Oh, wow, this was actually specific to me. She didn't send you the same thing.
Right.
So yeah, they give them something to talk about, and then they're like, okay, we can pursue this conversation further, just based on the effort.
If you were watching this for the first time and you are meeting Shannon for the first time, make sure you go over and follow her LinkedIn because she's educating, she's helping people. Although she's in sales, like this is maybe where she is now, but there's going to be a point where that there's going to be a gatekeeper before you even get a way to contact with her. So here is her LinkedIn profile, linkedin.com, Shannon Monrose. Definitely inbox her and say that you saw her on Travis's YouTube channel or YouTube video, or wherever you may see this video. You may hear it on Apple, you may hear it on Google Play, but wherever you hear it, just let her know. So, and try to use one of those methods that she's sharing to see if if they resonate.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
So I always ask, these two questions. So I'm going to ask you these questions, and we're going to wrap up for now. But there's one thing I added a little commercial to our call. So here it is. So you're probably thinking, what in the world is that? So a lot of people, I've been in the role of the recruiter, of the interviewer, of the hiring manager, as the business owner, as the HR project manager. Gosh, I feel like I sound old when I say this. Like when did I have time to do all this? I've also been the candidate, but as the sales recruiter, I had to learn two things. One, how to help people get into the role that they're looking for, especially in SaaS sales. But with combination of that with interview coaching, I also learned different ways to help people increase their salaries in SaaS, especially in sales. So you're going to see a link here to a training that's going to be released here at the end of the month. Definitely check it out. Also, if you are reading the bottom of our screen here, make sure you share this video for a chance to win your own professional sales resume. You will also get interview coaching in the form of salary negotiating training. And I will be giving out all the way to the UK or the United States. I've done 3 book giveaways so far. This is my Amazon bestseller book, Interview Activator. Land more interviews, get more offers, make more money. So I'm giving you the exact play-by-play, the secrets on how to get more interviews in your top of funnel as a salesperson. So Shannon, what's the best advice you've ever received in sales?
Best advice is to detach yourself from the outcome. I was told that actually in my current company. I think I've heard it before and it didn't resonate as much, but because you tend to get emotionally invested, and you know what it does, it demotivates you.
Yeah.
You're going to hear no's all the time. So you need to take the emotion out, and it's nothing personal. If someone says no, they're not saying no to you personally. They're saying no to your proposition or their time or your time. But yeah.
Emotional intelligence. all those no's you get, they will begin to wear you down. She had no idea that was in there, by the way.
Yeah, no, that's off the cuff.
I'm sending you a book, Shannon. I want you to
read it. Please do.
So definitely take that advice. Detach yourself. I love that she said that. Now, what's the best advice that you would ever give a person in sales?
Me personally is just be resilient. Resilience is key. So I know that's quite similar, but you need to pick yourself up every time. And without resilience, then being able to just completely, keep going. You'll hit a hard stop, you'll burn out, you'll get upset, you'll get frustrated, you want to leave sales entirely. But resilience is key. You will see results and you will keep learning. It will get better all the time.
I love it. That's great advice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it. Somebody's going to get that advice and they're going to say, you know what? I had a tough day in sales yesterday. But Shannon, gave me this one nugget that's going to help me get right back into the game, right back into the ring and fight. So definitely make sure you get connected with Shannon. Stay tuned for more content that she's going to be creating. She's getting better and better and better and bigger and bigger and bigger in everything that she's doing. So you do not want to miss out. Shannon, is there anything that you would like for people to know about anything you're doing or any special way to get in contact with you? Anything of the sort you want to share?
So I am more than happy. I'm always happy. My DM's always open to just assist with SDR starting, new in the industry. I'm more than happy to set up calls and just time, even 10, 15 minutes to give you a pep talk or share where I've struggled. It's always good to hear someone else's struggles so you can relate and you're not the only one experiencing those kind of things. But yeah, definitely feel free to reach out just for advice, friendly chats, or help, anything. But that is all from me, and I really appreciate you having me on here, Travis.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking time out of your day to connect with me, Shannon. It really means a lot to me that I get to pick the brain of smart people and that you actually have a passion to share and connect with people who are going through the same or similar daily tasks and items as you are. So again, make sure everyone you connect with Shannon. Make sure you connect and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos with incredible people. Shannon, thank you again for joining us. And if there's any way that we can help you move forward in your career and be better in your goals, please connect with any of us and we'll see you next time. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you next time.
Take care. Thank you.